Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we'll study about the anatomy of respiratory system in an easy way just by going through the images. So let's first understand what organs are responsible for respiratory system. Organs are nasal cavity, oral cavity, tongue, epiglottis, larynx, trachea, esophagus, pharynx, and pharynx are three types. Those are nasopharynx, oropharynx, hypopharynx. In this video, I'll start from larynx and trachea. Apart from larynx and trachea, epiglottis, tongue, oral cavity, nasal cavity, pharynx, esophagus, these all topics has already been covered under the digestive system. So if you are interested to learn about those topics, please go back and watch the digestive system video. So let's start with the larynx. Larynx is a C-shaped muscle which is also known as voice box. The reason behind calling the larynx as voice box is it has the voice cords inside it which helps to create the voice. Down to larynx, trachea is present which is known as windpipe. In this image of trachea, the upper portion is larynx. This is the tracheal tube. Here there is a cartilage muscle which joins the larynx and trachea. This muscle is known as cricoid muscle. Cartilage muscle means the very best example of cartilage is our ears. If you'll touch your ear, it is not too hard, not too soft. Those types of muscles are known as the cartilage muscle. Upon the tracheal tube, there are C-shaped cartilage ring muscles are present, and the main function of these C-shaped cartilage muscles to maintain the tracheal tube structure without any changes. At the end of the tracheal tube, the trachea divides into two divisions. These two divisions are known as bronchi. Here one more important thing we have to understand. Whenever we study the anatomy, always we study the anatomy about someone else's body. So always this will be the left side of the body and this will be the right side of the body. The left side bronchi divides into two divisions, 1 and 2, and the right side bronchi divided into three divisions, 1, 2 and 3. The cartilage C-shaped muscles are also available upon the bronchi for maintenance of the structure. Lobes of the lung. The left side lung has two lobes, upper lobe and lower lobe. The right side lung has three lobes, upper lobe, middle lobe and lower lobe. As it has three lobes, it is larger in shape than the left side of the lung. Each bronchus leads to a separate lung. This left side bronchi leads to the left side of the lung. This right side bronchi leads to the right side of the lung. Each bronchus then divides and subdivides into smaller and finer tubes, somewhat like the branches of a tree. The smallest of the bronchial branches are known as bronchioles. Alveoli. At the end of continuous division of the bronchioles, there are clusters of air sacs called alveoli. Each alveolus is made up of a one-cell layer of epithelium, and the very thin wall allows the exchange of gases between the alveolus and capillaries. And about capillaries, we have studied under the cardiovascular system. Here we'll understand how our lungs are protected and how our lungs are positioned inside our body. So our lungs are protected by 12 pairs of rib, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Out of these 12 pairs of rib, few are true ribs, few are false ribs, and about those we'll study under musculoskeletal system. So from the perspective of respiratory system, for now we'll just understand that our lungs are protected by 12 pairs of ribs, and inside ribs the lungs are positioned like this. Just down to the lung, there is a dome-shaped muscle is present, which is known as diaphragm, and which exactly looks like a parachute. Now we'll understand what is the function of diaphragm in respiratory system. Here I have given two images, one for the inhalation, means inspiration, breathing in, exhalation, expiration, breathing out. During the inspiration process, the diaphragm moves down, ribs moves up and out, and the stomach will move outside, whereas during the exhalation process, the diaphragm moves upside, ribs moves down and in, and the stomach will move inside. It's a very easy concept, and to understand this, just breathe in and breathe out and try to feel how the diaphragm, ribs and the stomach moves. The last and the very important point, how the diffusion of gases occurs in respiratory system. In cardiovascular system, we understood how the deoxygenated blood enters through the superior and inferior vena cava into the right atrium. Here we'll understand how the diffusion of gases occurs inside the lungs. The red in color are the deoxygenated and the blue in color are the oxygenated blood. Deoxygenated means here the oxygen quantity is very low and the carbon dioxide quantity is very high, whereas in the oxygenated blood the oxygen level is high and the carbon dioxide quantity is very low. So when the blood flows through the capillaries and the alveoli, because of the high and low oxygen pressure, the diffusion occurs. So to understand the high and low concept, here I have given an example. So let's go through the example. Just imagine which is higher in oxygen has 10 points, which is lower in oxygen has 4 points. Always the higher one tries to maintain an equality with the lower one. So here the 10, it gives 3 points to the lower one. So here it was previously 4, now this 4 got 3 points. So 4 plus 3 equals to 7, and by giving 3, 10 minus 3, here it became 7. Now it is 7 equals to 7. So this is the same way how the diffusion of gases occurs, and here I have given an example for only one alveoli. There are 600 million of alveoli are present inside our lung, and in each alveoli the same diffusion of gases occurs throughout the entire respiratory system. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to like, subscribe and to hit the bell icon for the upcoming videos.